Okay, so
bam! On this latest episode of Burnt Biscuits and Cold Eggs, we decided to give y'all. We're gonna take you all the way back to episode 1, and it's just me and T. No guests, nobody but us having a conversation. Actually, these are the kind of conversations that inspired the podcast in the first place. So tonight we're gonna talk about one of my favorite things,
which is
the holidays.
Well, and we're right in the middle of a number of them, so this should be an interesting conversation.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Halloween, have a blessed Thanksgiving. Make sure that the person that makes your mac and cheese got a little extra material up under their arm.
So, mac and cheese arms. Edition of Burnt Biscuits and Cold Eggs.
Hold on. I gotta just say this, all right? Episode 1, like way back when we first got started, we were rocking our little Astros jerseys and whatnot. Now, in this episode, it's obvious we've come a long way.
Okay, we're not going to do this. That's not what we're
saying. My wife we had hair and makeup for the first time. On Burnt
we didn't
Biscuits
have
and Cold
hair
Eggs.
and makeup. That's not what I did. My own hair. We didn't have hair and makeup.
I just want to tell you, you look lovely tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Me too.
I got tired of looking at the episodes and my skin was shiny and I wasn't necessarily
like I say, if I didn't have you, I'd want you.
You know what? So, okay, so
hey, you know what? It's tonight. I think I want to talk about just one of my favorite times of year, the holidays. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Thanksgiving, as you know. Halloween is fun, and then Christmas is. I'm still playing at 52. I'm still playing catch up on Christmas.
What does that mean? Playing catch up?
I mean, for the Islam, I was the origin of that because I'm sure.
I didn't think about
I'm sure
that.
some of your friends still like. Is Tunisia Muslim now? I'm sure they have those
I've been asked that a number of times. Yes.
You tell them yes.
Listen, because I don't feel like going through a whole conversation. If you're going to ask me that question, I'm just going to respond.
Well, I was raised Muslim, and so being raised Muslim, we didn't get Christmas.
Like never, like y'all didn't get.
We didn't get Christmas at my dad's house. Let me say that. I had a Christian grandmother who basically was one of those. It's like the baby gonna get some Christmas.
So wait, so at what age did you stop? Like did you start having it and then stop having it?
Yeah. So actually, there's pictures of me as a shorty. Like before, I think my dad converted to Islam when I was like 3 or 4. Like a baby.
That's a baby.
Like people still picking me up.
Okay, go ahead.
Still fine. Just playing. So there's pictures of me in front of the family Christmas tree with my parents as a baby. But when my dad converted to Islam, that, obviously Christmas was out the door. And
that was at what age? Around what age?
About 4.
About 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, but my grandmother always insisted on, us having a Christmas. So the family tradition ended up being that we would go to my grandmother's house as a family on Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. And, grandma would buy us gifts. We do a little gifts exchange and all that. Then on Christmas Day, it's funny because I'm still a little jealous. Like my cousins who celebrated Christmas, on Christmas Day, they got presents. On Christmas Day, we just woke up and was watching football.
So
oh no, basketball.
So, but your dad didn't have an issue with you all receiving gifts from other I don't think he had issue, but I think it was like over time, it actually became a family tradition, right? I mean, I can remember like my grandmother and them lived in the same house for basically my entire life. Like my tattoo, Edgar 1362, is actually 1362 Edgar Avenue is my grandparents' address. And so that
the house has a special meaning, and the holidays there, like Christmas Eve, it was crazy to watch how it grew, right? Because my dad has one brother, so it was the two of them, and then their kids, and then all of the kids had kids, and people got divorced and remarried and had more kids and all of that kind of stuff. But the family like grew. I can remember like when we were kids, we had plenty of room. By the time we were adults, still going to grandma's on Christmas Eve, it was it was literally standing room only. So it's just, but that's part of what I love about the holidays is the traditions that we've established. Like we always ate every Christmas Eve the same menu, chicken pot pie, and my grandmother would either make greens or green beans, and this cake called dump cake, which if you don't know, you've had it.
You've cooked it for me.
Not impressed, obviously.
What you want me to do? Turn a cartwheel? It's the cake. It was a good cake.
Food is your love language, so when you wasn't doing none of
but it was. I've had the chicken pot pie.
Yeah.
I've had the cake. What was the other one you said?
Greens or green beans.
I've had the green beans. Right.
Actually, that's one of the. We always talk about what changes when you get married. I've given up being the greens maker in the family
because
my wife's greens are fire.
Exactly.
Fire.
Exactly.
Shout out to Fire Greens.
You know what? So ours is a little different. My growing up, we had traditional holidays. And Christmas was traditional for us. But
what's your favorite?
My favorite holiday?
Yeah.
My favorite holiday is probably Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. It's probably Thanksgiving.
And why is that?
Because I like to eat.
Food is your love language. We continue to validate that point.
No, but I like everything that comes along with it. I like the family getting together, and they get together plenty of times throughout the year. But it's just something special, I think, about Thanksgiving and sitting around and eating and
taking
watching
a nap.
Yeah, and then getting back up again. Yeah, eating again, the whole nine. So
pumpkin or sweet potato.
Yeah, sweet potato.
You know what's wild though is like growing up in Ohio. Like I hate to say it, y'all know my black card is official, so don't start tripping.
If you sit up and say that you ate pumpkin, anything,
we grew up.
We're not going to. We're going to end this conversation. Are you serious?
We grew up on pumpkin pie.
Ugh.
Like I grew up in Ohio in the Midwest, and like I literally didn't really know that much. I didn't know nothing about sweet potato pie until I moved to the South. In my
you had never had a sweet potato period.
Oh no, I had a sweet potato,
but not a pie.
Yams, like chopped up in syrup, but never a pie. Which that's honestly, the way my grandmother made sweet potatoes with the marshmallows, it was damn near a dessert. But pumpkin pie was it.
Really?
Yeah.
You've never, since we've been together, eaten a pumpkin pie?
No, I don't.
Why?
Because I had sweet potato now.
Oh, so
the difference.
Okay, so it's like once you go black, you never go back.
Open. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell y'all this though. Back to growing up Muslim. You know what's fire?
I don't want to hear nothing about a bean pie.
Bean pie.
Nothing
fire.
about
fire.
Are you
trying
serious?
To tell you, if it's made right, you can close your eyes and you take a bite and nobody told you.
That's a
you
lie.
Think it was sweet
that
potato.
Is a lie and a half.
Listen,
that's a lie.
Anybody in Houston right now that's watching this that knows where I can get my wife a good bean pie.
I don't want. Don't send him anything because I don't want one. I don't want a bean pie. I don't want. Is that the only way that they make it? Is in a pie? Do they do anything else with it?
No, it's a pie.
It's just pie.
Pie.
I'm good.
But I promise you,
I'm so good.
If I come home, do what I normally do, baby. I bought you some dessert, and I pour you a glass of milk.
Put some ice in it.
With ice in it. Literally.
You put ice in it.
Who else does that?
I don't know. Lamar says that that's a sign of what?
A serial killer.
A serial killer.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Who puts ice in milk?
It keeps it cold, but that doesn't matter. So
but anyway, if I come home with a bean pie and make you a cup of milk with ice and say, babe, I bought you something, you would sit there and do your little food dance.
No, I wouldn't. I promise I wouldn't.
I promise.
I would not eat that.
That's a bet.
Okay. Well.
I'm gonna videotape it. Well, I gotta wait a little while because if I do it in the next week or so, you're gonna be like.
I'm not going to. I will try it, but I'm saying I've had it before. It just not tasty to me at all.
All right. Well, I gotta slip it in on you though because it's gonna be a little bit of a blind taste test. But anyway, like what? It's crazy. Like, we had our traditional meals for like Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. Thanksgiving was actually always like just regular food,
like turkey,
regular thing. Right. But again, bless my black card. Growing up,
You got one more time to say something about.
I had stuffing.
See, okay, you don't even get a black card anymore. Stuffing.
Look, y'all gotta remember, Ohio, like, I mean, again, I came down here, and I remember the first time I saw, like, a pan of dressing.
And you were like, ew, what is that?
No, I'm an adventurous eater, so I was just kind of like, yo, what is that?
And they said dressing, and you said, what is that?
What is that? And they broke it down. It was good, though, but I grew up having that shit stuck in the bird.
Okay, so of the two,
dressing.
You prefer dressing?
Dressing.
Really?
Yeah. Dressing.
I don't even know if I've ever had stuffing. I thought that was only something at like other people's house. Like,
trust me.
I'm gonna ask my mama, can she make stuffing?
Coming south, you can't make stuff. You don't make stuffing. You buy it in the bag. You put some celery in it.
She
then you put
cuss
the shit.
Me out.
Then you put it inside the turkey. You cook it inside the turkey. Yeah,
I've never had. We've never had stuffing.
You know what we're gonna do?
No, we're not gonna do that. if it involves anything with my mother, that's what we're not gonna do. And some food.
I'm gonna make some stuffing.
And she's gonna cuss you out.
As she would. Shout out to Miss Barbara.
Lord have mercy. Okay, no. So no, we've never had stuffing. We always had sweet potato pie. We had yams as well.
We had yams with marshmallows on top. We had that.
That's interesting that nobody took some yams and made the pie.
No, because they took pumpkins and made the pie.
No, I'm good on all that.
All right. So, you know what, though? I mean, the thing is, like, for me now, like, I've literally had one bad food Thanksgiving.
Let's hear about your bad. Because I already know what it is. Never mind. Let's don't do that. I've had
one bad food Thanksgiving, and after that, I vowed it was never going to happen again.
So, we don't have to talk about the circumstances behind it specifically, but what makes bad Thanksgiving for you? What made it so bad?
I think too many cooks. I literally, like, in this particular Thanksgiving, it was a whole lot of people bringing food from different places, and that it fucks up the flow. You know, what happens if the person bringing the mac and cheese is running late? I mean, it's just so many things that can go wrong when you got the food primarily needs to be cooked in one kitchen. So everything is right there at one place. People can bring like desserts and other stuff, but cook the food at the house so we can keep an eye on you.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Well, yeah.
What you gonna make this Thanksgiving?
Greens.
Greens?
I'm going to make greens like I make every single.
Every single?
Okay, well, not every single, but I'm going to make greens.
How long?
We don't have to talk about all of that. I'm going to make greens.
My wife's greens are phenomenal.
They really are.
They are.
I'm going to make greens. I'll be responsible for greens, and I'll make cornbread.
That's like, I mean, you know, I tell my wife all the time, like, she inspires me creatively. She's my muse. I've inspired her culinarily, wouldn't you say?
No, I wouldn't say that.
I mean,
don't try to act like when we got together.
When we started dating, you had like 3 dishes.
Asshole.
You had like 3 dishes.
I had more than 3 dishes.
But you had 3.
What was the 3 dishes?
The world famous chicken.
You are such
meatloaf. And chicken spaghetti. You had 3 dishes. And
you are a lie.
Them hoes was in heavy rotation.
That's a lie and a half.
What else?
The boys have to eat. So there was no way that I could get away with 3 dishes.
I'm talking about like 3 dishes that you would make.
Get up on here and just lie for no reason. 3 dishes, really?
And now you got, I mean, it's
now how many dishes?
Infinite.
You know what?
Infinite. The meatloaf's still my favorite.
Leave it to you to always have
3 dishes.
Okay.
I mean, you know.
That's fine. Not a problem. So yes.
You know what we're gonna do when we had a kid episode.
That's what we're not gonna do. Ask him. So now you're gonna try to put.
I'm gonna ask Pharaoh
about my other dishes. That's fine. He'll tell you.
I'm gonna say, how many, like, before I came around, how many dishes did your mom have? And he gonna break it down, and it's all good, babe. It's all good.
I have never, ever in all my life dealt with such a hater. It makes no sense for you to be such a hater when it comes to... Really?
Babe, I don't... Listen, anyway. I mean, but we bonded over food, right?
Okay.
Right?
I had 3 dishes. I'm going to file that away in my mental Rolodex, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get 3 dishes from now on. Anyway... Moving right along. So you know what? I need to pause there unless it was something else that you wanted to talk about in terms of your love for holiday.
No, I just, you know.
Is that so? Your favorite holiday is?
I mean, it's kind of a toss up between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I think I just love the holiday season, like from the Wednesday or Tuesday that I take off from Thanksgiving until January. I just try to be in holiday mode. You know.
Did y'all do a lot of like decorating and putting pumpkins? You know, carving pumpkins.
You know,
and all that
it's
stuff?
funny because, like I said, as a grown up, I play catch up. So like we didn't do nothing. Like, we didn't have no Christmas tree at my dad's house. We didn't.
Oh,
I mean,
that makes sense.
you gotta think about growing up Muslim. Halloween was a pagan holiday. We didn't celebrate Halloween until.
So do you still believe that it's a pagan holiday?
I mean,
because
I think people interpret things in their own the way they're going to interpret. So I'm sure there are people who practice whatever you practice when you celebrate a pagan holiday. They get hyped for Halloween. I personally like to put on a goddamn costume or see the kids dress up, go get candy. It's the spirit of just family and camaraderie that the holiday breeds. I know that there's something symbolism and all that behind it for some people. I don't get into all that.
Gotcha. Well, see, but now, as an aside, like my mom is a huge holidays. So for her, but it's more about the decoration. She has decoration for every holiday.
I actually love all of that now. Like I want a big Christmas tree. Remember when we first started dating? And
here come a lie.
No, this is true. Don't judge me. Remember how long it took me to take my Christmas tree out?
Oh my gosh. And it was a live one. And by the time you took it out, it was dead. It's like you wasn't watering it. It didn't have the little thing under it.
I didn't take it outside till July. Yeah. But it became...
That's what we're not going to do this year.
No. But we have this lovely home with these high ceilings. We're going to get one of them big, tall New York Christmas trees and decorate it. No, we're not. Actually, we can get Ebony to decorate it.
She would absolutely. Ebony's a friend of ours that spends a great deal of time.
Did I tell you how dope my wife's makeup looked tonight? I'm just making sure I said that. Shout out Nikki Hummingbird, making my wife look more beautifuler. If I could create a word.
Did you just put an ER on the end of that?
ER.
Whatever.
I'm fluent. Remember, definitely fluent in Ebonics. Gibberish
and bullshit. So moving right along. This particular
smell that?
Here we go.
It's bacon burning.
You know what? But it's not bacon. It's biscuits. Okay, so we happen to get some messages from viewers that want us to talk about
shout
their
out
situation.
To subscribers.
Yeah. So we got a really interesting question this week that they want us to have a conversation around and possibly give advice. Let me go on record as saying
I know my wife is an HR professional, so y'all always gonna get the disclaimer.
We are not professionals. Please do not take, because his advice is 9 times out of 10 not going to be what you want.
First of all, my advice is normally not free. So
oh my God. Okay, so
go ahead.
So take it with a grain of salt, and let's see what
sprinkle a little salt on.
Let's see what you give them.
Are we gonna make this like a regular segment? I think
we can. If people have questions, I don't see why we can't.
Okay.
Have
So we're gonna call it. You gotta create a little segment name, right? How about we call it questionable content? Like it's a question. Go just answer the question. I'm sorry.
You thought that was real funny, didn't you? You thought that was funny, right? Okay. So, this couple has been together. They've been in a somewhat long distance relationship for 5 years.
Long distance, 5 years. Okay.
Okay. Now they're living together. So they've joined households.
So they were living long distance, and then somebody moved, and they moved in together.
Correct.
This ain't not gonna go well.
Why?
Finish the question.
So what they're realizing is that now that they're living together, they're realizing that they're set in their ways.
Who moved?
He moved.
From where?
What difference does it make where he moved from?
From where to where?
Somewhere to Houston. I don't know.
Okay, so they're in Houston.
Yeah.
So he moved from
He moved from like Dallas, Fort Worth.
Oh, see, he didn't move that far.
No,
okay.
It was fairly.
Dallas and Houston very different though.
They are.
That's a whole episode.
Oh God. Okay. So they now live together, and they realize that they're set in their ways, and they want to know how hard was it to adjust when you're used to living alone and have your own routine? How do you compromise without either party losing your identity?
How old are they?
We both have adult children. We're both in our 50s, both been married and now divorced. We are total opposites. He's highly social and I am introverted. He loves sports and I love to watch the damn Housewives. So they're in their 50s.
50s.
So they've both been married and divorced. So they've gone down the marriage.
No right for wrong.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I mean, for me, I guess, I think we have this conversation all the time, right? Mm-hmm. We learn things in our first marriage that we know and help us be better in our second marriage. That's agree. All I'm saying. Right?
Yeah, right. And I'm sure that's the case for most people. Typically, when
I know a lot of my friends have made the same mistakes twice.
Seriously?
Yeah.
At this old age?
Anybody, think about it like this. How many people do we know that are twice, and in some cases 3 times divorced?
We know a few.
Yeah, so I'm just saying. But anyway, back to the little question.
They were college sweethearts, and they have a long history, but she said, we about to burn everything in this bitch up. So so let's go back to the first question they asked. They said, how hard was it to adjust when you're used to living alone and you have your own routine? I can say for me, it was very difficult. And it's still, I won't say it's still difficult, very difficult, but it's an adjustment. When you are accustomed to doing, being, going, when you have a routine, and especially at the age of 40 plus, you become set in your ways. So it's very difficult. It was an adjustment for me. I will say that. I will stop saying it's very difficult. I don't know if very difficult is actually the
is or was.
No, I don't. Neither. I think that.
No, I'm saying. No, it is an adjustment or it was an adjustment?
I think it is an adjustment.
Okay.
It is. I think it's going to continually be. There will always be something.
I think that's
what I'm saying. So it's
marriage, right?
Not was. I mean, I think it's going. It's.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you want me to stop doing? I'm trying.
What do I want you to stop doing?
Trying to get better with the toilet seat.
You're doing a good job at that.
Yeah. My aim is getting a little better.
It's not. But what you know what I think that you've worked on. Boys. It's not, but we're not even going to talk about that. I think that you're pretty good at when we have a conversation. If I say, "Hey, you know what?" Because you had a really bad habit when up until probably like the last week of taking out your contacts, and wherever you were, you just flicked the contact because it was disposable, so you could find a contact on the couch.
Shout out to today's Vision Meyerland. My bad.
Did you really just do that?
Hey, look, man. Shameless plugs until we start getting checks.
So anyway, so you would, it's just, I think it's just little things like that. Like I would be walking and I'd step on, it'd be something crunchy under my foot and I'd look and it's a contact. Like why in the hell is a contact on the kitchen floor? It just makes no sense. But it would
cause you to think of me.
But it wasn't in a fond way. I guess it's probably the.
What else? So I don't flick my contacts no more.
You've gotten much better about the couch sleeping.
Y'all listen. Y'all understand the sacrifice that was.
Now it's a sacrifice.
I'm a lifelong couch sleeper, and my wife literally told me that. She says she sleeps better. This is the truth. I mean, you can validate. Okay. You said you sleep better when I'm next to you. When you're next to me, right? I do. Especially if I know that we're in the house together, it makes absolutely no sense to me for you to be downstairs on the couch and I'm upstairs. But I can't. I don't. And I'm doing better. I know. That's what I said. You're doing much better. But like, there's certain thing, and again, this is the give and take of marriage, right? Because I personally sleep better with ESPN in the background. Oh my God! And I hate lights. I hate noise. I hate television. I want it pitch black and I want it silent. And see, when I'm in pitch black and silent, my brain just starts going. Ideas, thoughts, things that I need to put down, like in my notes. Because I have literally, like late at night and laying in pitch black and in dark, come up with some amazing shit. We've done it together. But that's why, like, I either wake you up to talk to you, or I write it down on my phone. Because there have been times when I know I probably have solved world problems in my sleep. But then I didn't write it down, and I woke up and I forgot.
So you've gotten, bringing it back to what we were talking about. You've gotten much better about coming to bed. It's typically a struggle to get you to, because you'll fall asleep on the couch, and it's a struggle to get
Every
you to
day.
wake up and come upstairs. But you've gotten much better about that. So let me ask you, because I'm sure it's an adjustment when it comes to me. I mean, what have I, what?
You know, I mean, I think
I can't
it's
wait to hear
interesting.
this. No.
It's less about, in a lot of ways, it's less about the things that I've had to get used to or adjust to. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are certain things, right? Like the snoring. I mean,
okay, you've got one more time on one more episode to say something about some snoring. What you're not going to do is
like
sit there
I've
and just tell these
learned
ball
to try
face
to go to
lies.
sleep fast, but anyway, I mean, I guess I think about it differently. I do. Mm-hmm. I think I've had to be, like, when you live by yourself, it's easy to be selfish, right?
It is.
And so I've tried to just be conscious of the need to be conscious, if that makes sense. Like, you know, understanding how the things I do can impact you in whatever way. Because my number one priority in life, after just God and my family, is my peace. Mm-hmm. And so for me, like, being conscious of the things that, you know, trigger's a strong word, but, you know, trigger.
That's fine. Mm-hmm.
Makes it easier for me to keep my peace. And so that's been the biggest adjustment for me, because, you know, from the time I got, you know, separated to when we got married, I could be selfish in terms of how I lived, in terms of, you know, being at home and dropping drawers in the middle of the floor. If I wanted to let the dishes pile up for a week, I could. And the only person it was going to bother was me.
Right.
You know, and I think just being conscious of those things has been the biggest adjustment for me. But back to these people questions. So I think we've had. I think we had an adjustment.
We probably need to let the people know that we truly have ADD. Like, we are an ADD couple.
I mean, absolutely. I own it.
So because we're just.
And I refuse to medicate.
That's the problem. But go ahead. Okay, so back to their question. You're saying
it's a challenge.
But you haven't told me. Okay, so there's nothing specific that you can name that I'm not going to cuss you out. I'm not going to fight you. I mean, I'm just saying what you can tell me.
I'm not afraid of any of that. we know you cuss and like to fight.
Okay, so but I'm saying there's nothing that you know what, you didn't bring it up, so we'll just, if you don't have a.
I mean, I think, you know, I mean, it's actually it's honestly little trivial shit. That's so.
Just give me one. Just give me.
I'm gonna give you two.
You can just give me one. I don't really need to.
Like, you have no concept of respecting space.
Well, okay, wait a minute. What?
You have no concept of respecting space.
Okay.
So here's a little. It's like we have all these little weird inside jokes that only make sense to us sometimes. But this one, so. Oh, this is about to be insensitive.
No, it's what you say, so you might as well just say it.
Everybody knows that, you know, Russia invaded Ukraine, right?
Correct.
Russia invaded Ukraine. Mm-hmm. In the same way that my wife invaded my side of the sink in the bathroom.
Okay, so let's be clear.
No, babe. No. So listen, the relationship should start. The sink should be it should at least start at 50-50, right? That's how it should start.
Yes.
And we did it for a couple days. But now the sink is like 90-10. And so I will get up in the morning. It's hilarious. You know, this is some of the silly shit that we do. I'll get up in the morning and my wife will be at her sink, and I'll walk up to my sink and look at my little 10%.
Make sure you use the voice that you use. How about now? That's the insensitive. Make sure you use the voice that you use in the morning.
And I'll just say, Mother Russia has invaded us again.
Mother Russia has invaded us again. And it's like, who thinks of shit like, and it's not an invasion. It's not. But I have one. You don't even have
it. It's 90-10 in there. So that's one.
Mm-hmm. That's one.
Which again, and those are the compromises that I get. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I just don't. I used to have a single man's cologne collection. Now I got one little bottle of oils. That's all. Because I got to be efficient with the space. And so,
but there's nothing that you need to do. I
mean, I'm just saying, like I said, we talking about adjustments that we had to make.
Okay, fair.
I learned to just give up on sink space.
Fair. Okay.
Colonizer.
You know what? Okay, so that's one. Let me hear this other one. Is it something that you brought to my attention before?
No, I've never brought it to your attention, but I'm about to right now.
This is going to be good.
I'm about to right now. And it's so little.
Oh my gosh,
But it's so irritating.
But okay, before you get into it, help me understand if it's irritating to you. Why would we have not discussed it to this point? Because
literally, you'll see why. It's irritating for no reason.
Okay, go.
We forgot about these people. Little question.
Okay. Okay.
So every morning, almost without fail, my wife gets up, and at some point, she turns the oven on the black people temperature, which is 350. She turned the oven on 350, and it's always with the intent of cooking some bacon.
Always.
But that motherfucker might be on for like 2 hours with no bacon cooking. And our oven makes a loud ass fan sound.
It does.
And so I'm trying to work. I'm on a Zoom and all I hear is
and it's nothing in the oven.
She's not cooking shit. And it's
I never knew that irritated you though. That is so interesting.
I was sitting there like, I know this motherfucker oven is on 350 and it's not cooking anything. Y'all do know, like, white people, if you're watching, 350 is a universal temperature that black people cook everything at in the oven. It's a universal black people temperature until we start cooking.
I literally had no idea.
All right, so
the oven, it's probably not going to change in terms of I'm going to still turn the oven on and go upstairs and do whatever and leave and come back and it'll still be on.
Just don't use it to heat the house.
Okay, my bad. I really didn't.
Let's get back to the people. Little question.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, so we're talking about it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment.
And the key, I think, to making the adjustment is to understand that there's a difference. I mean, I think they use the term losing their identity in their question. I think you have to understand the difference between losing your identity and compromise. And there's a difference.
There's
a difference, right? I mean, and so I think I've just learned to pick my battles, which is why I just let you turn the oven on.
Which is why I just still let you flick the because I haven't said anything to you about contacts in how long? Because it's not.
Mother Russia has invaded the sink again. I'm sorry. No, I mean you have it, but I've stopped. I flick less.
Okay, I mean I guess if you say so.
So what I'm saying is, I think you have to compromise. I mean, I think that's just a part of being in a relationship. Like, if you aren't willing to compromise, you're either going to be single or
he compromised. He compromised. Yeah, so that's a huge compromise on his part. Right.
And so my point is, honestly, like, I mean, and people might disagree with this. She should probably be compromising a little more. Did he leave Dallas?
But she didn't say that she wasn't compromising.
Did he leave Dallas or did he leave Houston? So they live here, he left Dallas?
They live here, so he left Dallas.
Oh, well, that's a come up. Dallas is terrible.
Okay, you know what? So compromise. You would
Shout out H-Town, Mayor's Frat.
Did you really just do all that?
I'm sorry.
We trying to solve the people's relationship.
Problem, but yeah, I understand. Are we charging hourly?
Shouting out your frat. What?
Are we charging hourly?
No, I think that they just want to understand.
Okay, so we've answered that question.
Compromise. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that was the question. No, there's no more. That was just that was.
I think there's more.
To what?
I thought they had other questions.
No, that was it.
Yeah, I think you have to compromise. You have to have open communication. I think you have.
Well, you know what? But says the pot, because you could have told me that the oven bothered you. That's open communication.
But that was so small. Like, I mean, sometimes you gotta pick your battles. Like, if I'm complaining because you turn the oven on to 350 to cook some phantom bacon. What happens when I actually have something to really complain about?
No, I'm giving you a hard time.
Then you're gonna be like, here you go, always bitching. We don't need that. So I'm picking my spots.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm picking my spots.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have any other, in terms of them feeling as if they're losing their identity?
I mean, I have to say this, and I mean, at 50, you should know who you are.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just saying, like,
this is what's gonna stop y'all from sending in these damn questions, because you're gonna get stuff like this, and you're gonna walk away feeling like.
That's why we call it questionable content. But my point is, at 50, you should know who you are, which comes to the point of compromise. And then, I mean, if you lose your identity at 50, that's your fault.
I don't think that that's necessarily what the people are saying. I think that you're reading into it.
Okay,
wrong.
So help.
But I think they each have a set of.
So here's the thing. I think she wanted to watch Real Housewives. He wanted to watch sports, right? Mm-hmm. I think you have to create opportunities to be together. I think the best thing about like these people that talk about being in relationships and we become one and we're the same person.
Absolutely not.
Fuck that.
No.
I think being in a relationship and being able to remain a individual
exactly
is important, right?
Highly.
I mean, and so I think the ability to do the things that y'all do together and love together, at times back to compromise, go do the thing that your spouse or significant other loves that you could care less about, but then also being comfortable with them going off to do what they do is all, again, a part of the relationship. I mean, I think there's layers to it. I don't think it's absolute. No relationship in my mind is black or white, right?
Right.
If at the end of the day you want to be an individual within the context of a relationship, you have to give your partner room to do that. Bars.
Do you? Did you just say that? And so, do you think that we do that effectively in our relationship?
I think we do. I think what's unique about our relationship is, I mean, people may not know this, but our birthdays are a day apart.
A day apart.
So
it's literally two Geminis.
Yeah, it's two Geminis
living under the same roof, sleeping in the same bed.
And so, I mean, it's crowded in that bed with
4 people,
several motherfuckers in there.
But
I think I mean, for me, I think part of what's unique about us is trying to figure out which person is showing up and who you're dealing with.
But I also think, to our credit, we are very good at recognizing when we call it a Gemini mood. Yeah. When one of us is in a Gemini mood and giving that individual space, understanding what that looks like, and.
But that's back to compromise and back to just taking the time to understand your partner. I mean, I think that's the commitment in partnership that's important, is taking the time to understand that other person, because some of the things that they think and feel may not make sense to you.
I will say that, did I mention in the question, they mentioned that they were college sweethearts. And I think that...
If that don't mean shit.
Well, what I'm saying is the person that you knew...
Person has changed.
Exactly.
4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the same person that you are an undergrad at 50...
Don't know what to tell them.
I'm gonna pray for you.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, so I mean, hopefully that helped. I'm not sure. It might have hurt. I don't know. I mean, my man might start flicking contacts and turn it on the oven. But hopefully that helped. And I know we actually invite people to inbox us with questions. You can put the comment on our YouTube, and in our questionable content segment of the podcast.
Because you never know what type of advice you're going to be getting.
You know what? To quote my son Gabriel, I'll do my best.
You know what? So, at your own risk.
Ready. Go. Don't worry, señorita. Only feel little kids in your feet.
Quiet. What does it feel like?
Only feel bubbles. Only feel bubbles, don't worry.
Shut up and take closer. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Center. Don't jump. Excellent.
Oh God. I don't like it. I do not like this already.
Let's go do something different.
Oh my God, I don't like this. But maybe I don't like this one. Oh, I don't like this one.
How you feel, guys? How you feel?
Feels good.
I don't like it.
Good vibrations.
Really?
I don't like it.
Okay.
Alright, look, this was a great conversation. We chopped it up about the holidays. We either greatly helped or greatly hurt them little people's relationship.
You hindered. It was a hindrance.
Hey, listen, we told people you ask some questions at your own risk.
So,
but anyway, I'm marry whatever it is that you celebrate.
Catch you on the next episode.
Rest in peace. Take off.